Lila Carter didn't plan to walk into a Manhattan brasserie dripping river mud. 10 minutes earlier, she'd hauled a shivering spaniel up a slick embankment, while a stranded boy begged her not to let go. Now, under velvet lights, patrons stared at the silt on her cheeks and thrift store dress. This was the blind date her roommate swore would change everything. The man at the corner table, tailored navy suit, steady eyes, rose when he saw her. Marcus Vale. She knew the name from the business pages, a quiet millionaire who rescued failing companies. He shrugged off his jacket and settled it over her shoulders like it was normal. Heat and humiliation collided. Lila's phone pinged with an overdue notice. She should run. Instead, she sat. Marcus signaled the server, unfazed by mud on linen. "Tell me what happened," he said, voice low. When she finished, he leaned in, intrigued rather than amused. "I have an idea," he added, sliding a sleek card across the table. "But it isn't dinner." Lila glanced down and froze. "Before we start, tell us in the comments, where are you watching from?" Lila's hand still shook as Marcus's jacket warmed her shoulders. Glasses chimed, jazz whispered, and she felt every eye counting the mud she'd tracked across the tile. "I'm usually not a swamp monster," she said. "Dog rescue? Long story? Short version?" Marcus's voice carried a clean calm. She told him, the boy on the river path, the spaniel slipping, the scramble down wet stones, the bank giving way. She left out the overdue rent and the double shift at the bakery. "Then you walked in anyway," he said. "Most would cancel." "I nearly did. My roommate bribed me with her last MetroCard." A server arrived. "Hot tea for her," Marcus said. "And a towel, please." Lila dabbed at her face, aware of his jacket over her damp dress. The card on the table gleamed. "Vale Partners." "You're that investor," she said. "The one who doesn't bulldoze staff." "I try not to waste people," he replied. "If this is a normal date, I'm failing spectacularly." "I don't do normal dates," Marcus said. "My assistant set this up because you used to run the Fulton Street Arts Co-op." "Used to," she said, the word like a bruise. Landlord pressure, broken pipes, a predatory lease. She'd held poetry nights by space heater until winter 1. "You kept it alive 6 months longer by restructuring dues," Marcus said. "I like people who hold the line when the budget says run." Heat rose that wasn't embarrassment. "Why does that matter?" "Because I just acquired Harridan Row." She blinked. Harridan Row, historic storefronts, shuttered steel, rumors that never died. "I want it reopened as a self-sustaining arts lane," Marcus said. "No charity optics, real math. I need someone who understands tenants who aren't spreadsheets." "And you thought, find the woman who fell in a river on a Tuesday?" "I thought, find the woman who didn't cancel. I'm a temp cashier. Then you're available. Walk a Harridan with me tomorrow. If it fits, we draft terms. Salary, equity tied to performance, discretion to select anchor tenants. Salary, equity." Lila's chest tightened with rent, her mother's bill, the co-op's ghost. "Why me?" "Because you keep showing up." She touched the jacket, absurdly soft. The boy's thank you echoed. The idea of Harridan breathing again tugged hard. "Tomorrow," she heard herself say. Relief, real, not triumphant, passed through his eyes. "Car at 8, warm, on time, with coffee." Her laugh startled her. For the first time in weeks, her lungs unclenched. A voice cut in. "Marcus Vale," said a woman in a red blazer, lifting her phone. "Is this your new charity case?" Heads turned. The flash popped. The jacket felt suddenly theatrical. "Delete that," Marcus said, iron in his tone. Public place, the woman sang. And I've been dying to know who you're courting for Harridan Row. Lila's stomach dipped. How does she? Because I'm the person trying to take it from him, the woman said, pocketing the phone. See you both in tomorrow's news. She walked out, heels bright against tile. Who was that? Lila asked. Victoria Crane, Marcus said. She wants the row for luxury condos. Can she actually take it? She can try. She likes spectacle. So what happens tomorrow? Lila asked. We start before spectacle, Marcus said. You'll need boots. Not heels? Only if you plan to fence with lawyers and stilettos. Her phone buzzed. A rent reminder, blunt as a knock. She silenced it quietly. Then a new alert. A gossip site already posting the photo. Marcus Vale's mystery date. Muddy girlfriend or new project? The room tilted. Tables whispered. A couple angled their phones. Walk with me, Marcus said, standing. To where? He nodded toward the door and the waiting cameras beyond the glass. The car arrived at 7:59, black paint drinking the morning light. Lila nearly texted to cancel, then climbed in. The coffee tasted exactly right. Marcus was already inside Harridan Row, a corridor of shuttered fronts, cracked mosaic, dust like old books. You're earlier than the car, he said. The bus beat traffic, she answered, pulling on a hard hat he offered. They stepped through a former print shop with tin ceiling and battered presses like sleeping beasts. Lila touched a roller and saw strings of lights. Late hours, a kiln in back, people learning to breathe again. Who belongs here? Marcus asked. Anchor Cafe to pay bills without killing the soul, she said, pointing. Community darkroom. 2 micro studios that rotate monthly. Predictable rent, percentage over a threshold. Night markets. He watched her build the place in air. For an hour, she forgot the gossip headline. Then a security team turned the corner. Behind them, Victoria Crane stepped from a black SUV like a verdict. Good morning, she said. Public footpath, yes? I brought a proposal. An assistant produced a folder. 50% above your purchase. You profit. I deliver tasteful homes. Windowed gyms aren't homes, Lila said. Victoria's smile held. And you are? Someone who kept a place alive on pennies. Charming. Marcus, your partners will force a sale when they see my numbers. I have partners, he said evenly. They back returns, not headlines. We'll tour now, Victoria told her security lead. You won't, Marcus said. I don't grant access to competitors mid-assessment. Your optics are already messy. She tipped her head at Lila. Cute narrative, though. Heat rose in Lila's face. She turned to Marcus. Let's build a better one. Open shutters at noon with a pop-up. Invite old co-op vendors. Cameras will see community, not your supposed girlfriend. Make the row feel inevitable. Marcus nodded. Do it. Today? Lila asked. Today. 4 hours. Victoria laughed. Wonderful. A flea market under rusted tin. Wear the jacket. It tests well. Touch me, and you'll need new sunglasses, Lila said, stepping back. Marcus's mouth tipped. You heard my director, he told Victoria. Director? Victoria's eyes cooled. Interim, he said. Effective now. The word landed in Lila like a key turning. She moved. Calls flew. She borrowed extension cords and tables from the bakery. A barista friend promised a cart. Former co-op makers arrived with crates, easels, hope. By 11:50, the row breathed. At noon, a line formed, cameras with it. Marcus stood a half step behind Lila. She raised the first shutter. Metal groaned awake. Inside, hand-thrown mugs, small prints, postcards. A guitar began to play. Victoria returned with another SUV and a professional smile. She angled toward a reporter. A word on adaptive reuse? Lila reached the mic first. Today proves this block can pay its way without pricing out the people who make it worth visiting, she said. We'll publish numbers by week's end. If they don't add up, you'll hear that too. Are you Marcus Vale's girlfriend? A reporter asked. No, Lila said. I'm his problem solver. Applause and laughter rippled. The security lead handed Marcus a phone. His expression sharpened. What is it? Lila asked. He showed her. An emergency injunction hearing in 2 hours, filed by Victoria's firm to halt all Harridan activity for public safety. Wouldn't want anyone hurt, Victoria said sweetly. Music faltered. Cameras leaned in. Lila looked at the crowd she'd summoned. We fight, Marcus said. How? By proving open is safer than closed, he said, and by making one call. To whom? The city's building commissioner. Sirens grew, not police. A fire inspection van turned into the block. Victoria smiled like a cat. Crowd held its breath. Lila squared her shoulders. Tick-tock. The fire inspector stepped from the van, navy jacket stamped with the city seal. 2 officials and a woman with a tablet followed. Mr. Vale, the inspector said. Commissioner Malik sends his regards. Cameras edged closer. Lila felt the row hold still. We've had a complaint about unsafe operations, the inspector said. If your pop-up is a hazard, we'll shut it. Lila forced steadiness. We taped tripping risks, capped dead outlets, mapped exits, extinguishers every 20 feet, occupancy posted, no open flame, first aid kit at check-in. The woman with the tablet walked with her, checking cords, aisles, doors. At the end, the inspector nodded. Better than most street fairs, he said. Victoria's sunglasses lifted a fraction. And yet, there's an injunction at 2, she purred. It hears, the inspector said. The court requested the city's position. How did the commissioner become interested? Victoria asked. A small voice answered from the crowd. Because of me. The boy Lila had hauled from the river clutched his mother's hand. The spaniel wore a tiny life vest. She saved him, the mother said, pulling Lila into a teary hug. Commissioner Malik is my brother. Cameras swung. Victoria's smile held, thinner. Touching. Business is business. Then business, Marcus said. Vale Partners will not flip Harridan Row to luxury condos. Today we sign a binding governance change. His attorney opened a folder. Marcus continued. Harridan Row becomes a community benefit LLC. Revenues matter. So do rules. Disposition requires approval from a 3-seat board. Investors, the city's cultural office, and the managing director. He looked to Lila. If she accepts. Words left her. Me? You've been managing since 8, he said. Now with authority. Victoria laughed. You're giving away control to optics. I'm investing in durability, Marcus replied. Quarterly numbers will be public. If this can't wash its face, we pivot within the charter. Lila found her voice. Fair leases, she said. Caps on increases, percentage rent after break-even, transparent books. Add it, Marcus told the attorney. The inspector's radio crackled. Judge wants the city's view, someone said over static. He listened, then looked up. Filed, compliant, beneficial. We recommend denying the injunction. Victoria blinked. You won't carry this block on sentiment. On footfall, Marcus said. Lila mirrored a quick dashboard onto a borrowed monitor. Door clicks, dwell estimates, vendor sales. Even cautious, the IEA numbers outpaced her old co-op's best market. Who designed this? A reporter asked. Lila, Marcus answered. On lunch breaks. He signed the document, then offered the pen. Her name fit the line as if it had been waiting. Applause rose, not loud, steady. The row seemed to exhale. Victoria slid on her sunglasses. Enjoy your math, she said, and retreated to her SUV. No one followed. Afternoon softened to gold. The shutters were up, the guitar soft, the coffee sweet. Marcus's jacket, now dry, still rested on Lila's shoulders. You should keep that, he said. She returned it. I brought my own today. He glanced at her scuffed boots and smiled. What's first, managing director? Lila looked down the block she now partly owned. Names, then a calendar. Then we keep showing up. The boy fed the spaniel a biscuit under the first table. The lanterns blinked on. Lila stood in the spill of warm light, listening to a place take its first steady breath. And finally, let herself breathe with it.